The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Is a story I just read, a COVID story. In the middle of COVID, there was a younger man in Eretz Yisrael, a major Talmud Chacham, a chashuv younger man. But he was draying zich with the chayvas. He was running from Peter to pay Paul. He had to pay money. He didn't have any money to pay. He was borrowing from Gemach to Gemach. He had to marry off his child. He didn't know where he's going to get approved in the kiss. He didn't know. So somebody told him, go to Reb Chaim. Ask Reb Chaim what to do. So he goes to Reb Chaim. Reb Chaim says, go to America. So he told him, no, Reb Chaim, no, you don't understand. It's COVID now. She said, to us. So he said, COVID, no one opens doors in America. The people are not opening the doors and they're not giving tzedakah. It's not the time to go. Ask any Mishloach, they'll say, in the middle of COVID, you don't go. People get upset. Shuls get upset. People get upset. It was true. Chaim told him, the focus, mach die hishtadlis. He told him, mach die hishtadlis. So you won't come back with anything. But you made the hishtadlis. Yeah. The problem, this guy didn't speak one word of English. He really didn't know anything about America. It was the first time he was coming to America in his life. But Chaim told him, mach die hishtadlis. So he makes the hishtadlis. He comes to America. The first shul he walks into, they say, what are you doing here? It's the middle of COVID, you can't daven in the shul. Only certain people can daven in the shul. Okay, goodbye. And he knocks in the guy's house. People look out the window. Don't even open the door for him. One after another. No, kept on remembering the words from Chaim. The fachas macht hishtadlis. After a couple of days, he gets a call from his relatives in America and Eretz Yisrael to say, "Nu, wie geht es? How's it going in the Golden Medina?" He said, "It's so finster. It's dark. All the lights are out. It's gefährlich. Gefährlich. Aber ich mach dich alles." And he asked them, "This people, is there any place you could go? They let you in." Don't know where it's COVID. When you come in COVID? No one's coming in COVID. And he's getting close to the end of his stay here. And he said, "No, I'll go back." Ephraim told me to make this hishtadlis. And he comes to a house, and he hears a big simcha going on in that house. He hears a simcha going on in the house. He figured, it's COVID, make a big simcha in the house. He has music, he has singing, he doesn't know what's going on. He bangs on the door, no one answers. He decided he better bang harder. He starts banging harder. So the music stopped for a minute, and his bang went through the door. They open the door, and there's a bunch of people there. And they say, "Come rein, come on in." Let him in. They bring him to the head table where the head guy was sitting. The guy was smiling. And the guy says, "You know, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you. Baruch, that you arrived finally. I've been waiting for you for days." Now the guy knows he was waiting for days. I don't know this guy from Mars. The guy gets out his checkbook and he said, "I wrote the check already before for you." He pulls the check out of the checkbook. He says, "Nemta cook, take a look." The guy looks at it and his eyes have to fall out of their sockets. But $50,000. Not pennies, not dimes, not nickels, not 50,000 big ones. He still takes the check, he pushes it into the guy's hand. And then this guy says, they must have been waiting for somebody to give him the money because the check was pre-written. The guy didn't know me, I didn't plan to come here. And now the guy made a mistake, gave me the wrong check. So should I say something? Should I not say something? So he said, "You know what? It's Gnei V'Sdas. I'm not going to take money that's not coming to me. How am I going to live with myself? It's a lot of money. It's like a dream, Shenka might say." So he turns to the guy and he says to the guy, "I'm really sorry, but you're mistaken. I'm not the guy you've been waiting for. He said, no, you're the guy I've been waiting for. Now I know for sure. When you first walked in, I was musupik. But now I know for sure you're the guy I'm waiting for. He says, how? Because you gave me back the money. Because you gave me back the money, now I know for sure you're the guy I'm waiting for. He said, could you explain, what does that mean? I said, that's right. I made a business deal a while ago. And I made it with a friend of mine. There was a whole convoluted deal. But eventually the IRS called in the friend. Where'd you get all this money? They saw a large influx of money coming in his account. Where'd you get this money from? So he said, he borrowed the money, this and that. IRS didn't believe him at all. Kids, so they called the friend out to come in. The guy got himself a lawyer. And he told the lawyer, how does it look? His lawyer said, maybe it doesn't look so bad. We'll fight it. I mean, truth matters, you'll say you gave him a loan, and you did. You gave him your money to pay you back, and invested it. Anyway, the guy said, okay, if they're going through a few weeks of nail-biting things, they said, we can't prove that anything illegal was done. So we're going to let you go. Guy was in seventh heaven. He was thinking to make a Suda Seidah. But before he got a chance to make a Suda Seidah, another department came knocking on his door. And this time they wanted this guy to Skavir himself. Where'd you get the money from? Did you pay taxes on that money? On the gains that you got? Did you pay taxes on it? He says, yeah, I pay taxes. They started the whole thing. And it was looking very bad for him. The lawyer said, you're going to have to make up some kind of a compromise. He said, Rabbi Yisroel, if you get me out of this thing, the first guy that walks to my door, the shulach, I'm giving, he thought, how much should I give? 10, 20, 50 big ones. Then afterwards I was mischaret. I said, some shmeiger is going to walk on my door. Some loyal tzlach guy who's looking for a cup of coffee, or wants to buy some schnapps, who knows what. And he wants to knock him out. I'm going to get 50 grand. I said, Bernisham, send the right person to my house. Today, I became part of him. So I made a Suda Seidah. I had a guy play music. I called my family together to come around. We didn't think anybody's coming. It's COVID. No one came. No one showed up. Then you showed up in the door. He says to the guy, you know what? I am so happy you came. I was waiting for you. And I have no suffix that you're the man. You wanted to give me back the money. You said I made a mistake. You know what? I got a little tip for you. He takes out his checkbook and he writes out another 50 G's for the guy. And he sends the guy on his way, and the guy flew home without a plane. And the schlepper Schnorr Deluxe ends up with 100,000. Chaim said, "Darf machen die Stadlis. Darf machen die Stadlis."
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org